The regular Eveleth City Council meeting scheduled for 5 p.m. August 2nd will now come to order. Roll call.
Councilor Rousey.
Here.
Councilor Koivunen.
Here.
Councilor Purpich.
Here.
Councilor Lillis.
Here.
Mayor Vysalovich.
Here. Approval of minutes. City Council workshop meeting June 2nd. Minutes of City Council special meeting June 21st. City Council workshop meeting June 28th. And minutes of City Council meeting July 6th. If no one has any questions on the minutes or changes or additions, I'd like to approve these minutes in one motion.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do we have support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item D, approval of tonight's agenda. I would like to make one change here. Item number 10 under new business. I would like to move that to the last item on the council meeting, since we have to go into a closed session for that. If everybody is in agreement with that or have no other changes or additions, deletions, call for a motion and we approve tonight's agenda with that change.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. We have no appointments or presentations. Consent agenda. Approval of payroll June 16th through the 30th. Approval of payroll July 1st through the 15th. And approval of claims for July 2022. If you have no objections, I would like to approve items 1, 2, and 3 under one motion.
So moved.
Did you make that, Joe?
Yes, I did.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do you have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 4, accept 2021 annual audit. Jack, you have any comments on the audit?
We're in good shape financially, and our processes are excellent. We've got lots of checks and balances, so we're good. Nothing negative or terrible to report here at the City of Eveleth. All's well.
Anybody else have any questions on, we got our copies.
If you don't want your copies, you can give them back to me.
If no one has any questions, I'll call for a motion that we accept the 2021 annual audit.
So moved.
Motion made by Koivunen. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 5, request for officer out-of-town training, defensive tactics instructor certification, August 22nd through the 25th, Hackensack, Minnesota. Chief, do we ever send anybody to a course like that before?
We have not. We normally contract it out. Usually through Hibbing Community College. They stopped doing it 3-4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Now that Kevin Smock, who we use, was putting on this course. So I think he's getting close to retirement. So Officer Huta showed interest in going.
Well, that's good.
So it's like a trainer.
Yeah, and we're going to keep it in-house then. So.
Then you'll recert every couple of years.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, correct.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, that's, I like,
The more you can take care of yourself, the better.
I like training, you know.
Yes.
You learn a lot of stuff. A lot of things when you go to training.
A lot of changes.
Yep. Any further discussion? Call for a motion to approve this request.
So moved.
Motion made by Purpich. We have support.
Support. Go ahead.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item 6, request for library director to attend Minnesota Library Association Annual Conference, October 27th through the 28th, Duluth, Minnesota. She goes to that every year, doesn't she?
You know, not always. This is really convenient to be able to go to Duluth. So she's like, can I go? I said, certainly, I'll bring it to the
You know,
council.
I thought it sounds kind of familiar, but I wasn't sure.
I don't think, she hasn't gone in quite some time. So
Oh,
like I said,
okay.
the location is perfect.
Yeah, it's right in our backyard, so with that being said, I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Koivunen to approve the request. Do we have a
I'll support.
support? Support by Rousey. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. No public hearings, no unfinished business. We'll move into new business. Second reading of an ordinance repealing and replacing ordinance number 18, second series, amending chapter 7 of the city code of the city of Eveleth, section 7.08, blighting factors prohibited. Anybody have any questions or anything on that?
Did we ever find out the appropriate numbering for that new document? Where we're at with the second series?
So Stephanie will give this ordinance a number once it's passed.
Okay.
And then,
After tonight's reading.
correct.
Okay.
Anyone have any questions on the second reading? If not, I'll call for a motion that we accept the second reading of this ordinance.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 2, quotation for John Deere Gator. TE, model year 2023. What's the availability on that machine, Jerry?
As we discussed in our workshops, you can't buy any this year, so what this would do is lock us into one for when they start building for 2023s.
Okay.
This would lock us in, so we won't be getting it till 2023 sometime. So we're trying to limp along our used and abused one.
So we'll okay this one, and then you're not gonna slide another one in on us, are you? Oh, did I come out?
Not this year.
And actually, I gotta say that that's not that bad of a price.
Yeah, and we use it at the cemetery all the time. We have to use it for every burial. We also
And you use it
in other
more when
sections of town, so
when it
gets
can
its
run.
use.
Yeah.
Well, you gotta buy it because they're not gonna have any stock units laying around, I guarantee you that. Any further questions? If not, call for a motion that we accept that quotation.
Jared, was this the only quote we got?
Yes. Yep. There's not a whole lot of manufacturers that do other type of utility vehicles out there that we use and are light on the grass for, not leaving a lot of marks. And now they're coming out with a lot of different smaller side-by-sides, but they're way too big for what we need.
Well, the nice thing about these guys is, EJ doesn't do it anymore with the John Deere, but they're from Virginia or Mountain Iron, so.
Yeah.
Correct.
I bought mine from EJ, and now I go to Mountain Iron and get the parts, and they have the parts or can get them for you, so.
I'll move.
Who made the motion? Jim, we have support? Motion made by Purpich, support by Rousey to accept the quotation. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item 3, pay request number 2 from 3D Concrete and Construction in the amount of $11,615. 2022 curb and sidewalk improvements. No one has any questions? Call for a motion that we approve this second pay request.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis, we have support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 4, quote for IPS for telemetry communication upgrades at the water treatment plant and wastewater treatment plant. I know we've been talking about this for quite some time.
So there were two quotes, Jared?
Yes. Automated systems quoted and IPS quoted.
What one are we looking at, the automated? Automated or?
No, the IPS.
Okay.
I'd recommend taking that bid. They're a little lower and it's gonna be a radio communication. So there's very little working parts to it. But they have their quote packet in here, so. They'll start at the water plant. The water plant, 750,000 gallon water tower and the reservoir. Because those are the ones that they're cutting communication off soon.
Oh, okay.
So we'll get those up and running first, and then we'll start working on the sewer lift stations.
Anybody have any questions of Jerry on this system we're looking at? I know we talked about it for quite some time.
85 grand?
Yeah,
And 14 before, he's getting closer to that 100 grand again. That's every meeting.
that's every meeting.
Just look at it this way, John. He's done now. We have other places in the town that we have to take care of.
He ain't done.
No one has any questions, a call for a motion that we approve this quotation.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey, we have a support.
I'll support.
Support by Purpich.
These guys both go into the candy dish.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 5, quote for Fail Pond recreational trail improvements.
It just keeps coming up. Rosati.
But you know, this is one that, I hate to say it, I walked around there a couple times and I wasn't looking for change, I just wanted to see what it looked like. And it needs it.
It does.
Because there is a lot of people that use that walkway. So, just something I think we should,
Is this for the whole, around the whole pond, Jerry?
No, this is just for the backside. They're gonna relocate it a little further up, because
Yeah.
every time it floods a little bit, that trail's underwater and it's completely shot. So we're just gonna move it up a little bit. I did receive a grant for half this amount. So it's not the 730, be half of that is what the city would have to contribute.
Because I know that other side along Fail Road there too gets a little wet when you just get off the bridge.
Yes, and we've talked about doing it
I don't know
in
what you do
stages.
about it, but
Doing a little at a time, and that's what we decided we were doing.
would we be able to get another grant next year?
Possibly, yeah.
You know, I mean, why not go for it and then we'd have the whole thing done?
yeah. Well, it's been there a long time. It gets a
Oh, you
lot of
bet.
use.
I did
And
try
everybody-
through a grant with the DNR too, through the feds, and we didn't receive that. They like to look at bigger trails that extend town to town, and
That's all we can do is
we
try.
tried.
No further discussion. I'll call for a motion that we approve the bid from Wasabi Bituminous for the amount of $37,730 for
So
trail
moved.
improvements. Motion made by Koivunen. Do we have a support?
Support.
Support by Lillis. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 6, purchase agreement and resolution to sell 5 lots in Volcancic Addition number 2 to North St. Louis County Habitat for Humanity.
Did we get a map of that one? In the last packet that we had?
You don't have that on your map because you guys had already said at the last meeting to sell, but I can show you where they are on the map.
Okay.
Okay, so that means that all the lots here are still up for purchase.
Correct.
Then that's great.
Okay.
Any further questions?
And I assume that by this document, they're not opposed to the purchase price?
You are correct.
Okay.
Any further discussion? And call for a motion that we approve the sale of these lots.
So moved.
Motion made by Rousey. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 7. Rams call to action.
I think there's a definite need for us to support this letter and get a letter out to our representatives and our senators. And I just feel that there should be an extra session in the state of Minnesota. Better figure out something how to get through this the rest of the year and into the next biennium for
I know we sent,
there's no reason for not doing it. It's,
I know we had a bunch of letters we sent to Rams, and I don't know, what the Rams organization sent,
but it's
and I don't know, they never even responded to any of them or commented, but
it's time to quit being political and start taking care of people in Minnesota and our communities up here.
So what are they looking for us to do? Send a letter from the city? It's just to sell?
Yes, so
Okay.
Peter Rukavina sent a sample letter,
Oh,
and I'll
okay.
just personalize it for you folks and have the mayor stamp or sign his name.
Well, if somebody wants to put this in the form of a motion that we support this item here on the agenda.
I'll move.
Motion made by Purpich. Do you have a support?
I'll support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 8, Department Head Purchasing Policy.
Again.
Head down, he's not even looking at us.
Look at him laughing over there.
Can buy a lot of candy.
Well, you know, sometimes some of that stuff gets lost, but in order to keep the day-to-day activities moving and the cost of prices going up,
The cost of prices of materials,
we can't be micromanaging the day-to-day operations. You have to have some latitude, especially in an emergency.
Well, the funny thing is that we were at 5,000, so if something came to 5,676, we'd have to wait 2-3 weeks for a meeting. And we don't have time sometimes, so this just allows the heads to take care of it.
Yeah, that's,
Anytime you can say Jerry and $10,000 in the same breath, it's a steal, take it.
Well, you see, the other two heads aren't saying a word. They're kind of gonna wing on Jerry's coattails
You
here.
have to have the ability to deal with the situations when they arise, and $5,000 wasn't cutting it.
no,
I mean, you can,
And, well deserved, and
you know,
take care of business.
we had the pump situation this year. We had to replace pumps, so that kind of stuff, and they're not getting any cheaper.
nope, that's for sure.
We need them, so if we can
Gotta
get
have
them
the
up here.
tools to take care of business, and the tool happens to be cash.
Yeah, and it's not like they don't have to answer for it, they just can do it on their own time, it still has to come through us. You know, they might have to go sit in a corner for a week, but we will okay it at the end, so.
We have a motion to support this
I'll make that motion.
purchasing policy change. I figured you would.
Oh, yeah, I'm for the
I
work.
think there's something going on here, but I'll just forget about it.
Candy dish,
I'm
candy.
gonna support that, because I like candy too.
Dog treats, is that included in there?
That too. I've seen that happen.
We just dumped the ante for you, Jer.
Motion made by Rousey, support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Item number 9, resignation of EMT Hunter Gilbert. Call for motion that we accept this resignation and send Hunter a letter of thanks for his service on the Eveleth ambulance.
So moved.
Motion made by Lillis. We have a support.
Support.
Support by Koivunen. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Council presentations and committee reports, and I don't think there's been much going on in that respect in June.
We had our
July.
special EDA meeting and, okayed the quotes and got the ball rolling for, or not EDA, HRA, excuse me, I get confused. For windows and doors and some improvements like that. And the key phrase that I like to repeat is that the quotations came in under budget.
Yep.
So
Still, pretty appreciable purchase, about $430,000.
it's not chicken feed, that's for sure, but it's something that's sorely needed, and we always get good markings up there, so we gotta keep up that type of.
No, place looks pretty clean. There's not garbage or nothing all over and
And
stuff.
we got the cash, we're not sitting on it for the apocalypse, we gotta use it, so.
That's how they got in trouble a number of years back. They weren't spending.
You gotta.
You
take
have
it
to
out.
use it or they take it away from you.
You lose
Yeah.
your aid, yep.
So that'll be nice improvements up there for them.
No, that's good. That's very good. Anything else, John?
That's it for me.
Joel?
No, I don't have much of anything.
Jim?
Nope.
Brian?
Rest of my meeting's canceled. Not because of me, but
I don't have anything further to bring up, but Chief, you have anything?
Nothing, Mayor.
Jerry, you got anything else?
Won't ask for anything this time, but no, I just wanted to keep you up to date that we've been busy on a lot of washouts this year with the heavy rains we've been seeing this summer. Our catch basins are falling apart, our manholes are falling apart. So we've been rebuilding a lot of those, and we've been doing some extra valve change outs this year. So our main water valves have been leaking by, and we're just having a lot of trouble with that stuff this year, so we've been doing a lot of work with that stuff.
A lot of downpours.
Yep, but besides that, I'll let Alan speak a little bit about the construction progress.
Al, you're up.
Okay, sure. So, as you kind of some of you have noticed, they started on Douglas. They are a little behind schedule, but they have started on utility work on the north end, and now we just need weather to work with them to get this part of the project completed. That's all I had for tonight.
How are they doing for, on Roosevelt? Looks like they're getting ready to do the curbing now and stuff?
Yeah, that'd be the next is starting to bring it up to grade to start concrete, that kind of stuff.
Well, they didn't get a lot of breaks this year with those downpours. I see they even worked the Saturday a couple times.
Boy, they had to pump up there a couple times, pumping the water out of there, and it was something to see. There was a lot of water in there.
Looked to me like they dug up and replaced some stuff from the washouts and stuff, so, yeah. I'm sure this weather hasn't been kind to construction workers there this.
One thing, anything else, Al, on the construction
That's all
project?
I had.
I know in the future, going ahead, Jackie did a extensive project showing all the city properties we have. And at some point, maybe Jerry and her get together and kind of plat out like where streets would be, utilities,
Sure.
for some
That's
future
maxed out my
expansion.
desk already.
Yeah. Jackie, you have anything to bring up?
Oh, you skipped Stephanie.
Well, I'm getting back to Stephanie
Oh,
here.
okay. Well, so Stephanie and the other city hall staff are busy with elections. The primary is next Tuesday. I just want to say thanks to all of our election judges. She's pretty well staffed. But if there's somebody that's interested that wants to participate in the November election, get a hold of Stephanie. But we're a pretty well-oiled machine. So good job, Stephanie, the other staff, and all the judges. We appreciate it.
All that experience is paying off. Steph, you got anything to add to all the compliments? Joel, you got anything to add?
No, I don't, Mayor. Thanks. It's good to be back in Eveleth. Took a little hiatus for a year, but good to be back.
Yeah, it is good to be back, eh?
That's right.
Well, then I'm going to take up, I moved item 10, pending litigation, to this spot on the agenda, and I have a statement to read here before we go into closed session to cover that. The agenda item is pending litigation, the City of Eveleth versus Jesse Howe and the Public Employees Retirement Association of Minnesota. This portion of the meeting will be closed pursuant to Minnesota statute, section 13D.05, subdivision 3B. The grounds for closing it is as follows. The city's need for absolute confidentiality outweighs the purposes served by the open meeting law in this case based on the following. Absolute confidentiality is necessary so that the city council and legal counsel can have a candid and open discussion to determine the available legal options to handle the litigation, including response strategy and public areas of reconciliation. The purpose of the closed meeting is not to make a decision behind closed doors, but instead, the purpose of the meeting is to determine the legal options for handling the litigation. And the only business to be discussed is pending litigation. An open session would be detrimental because it may take place in the presence of individuals involved in the litigation. A closed session would benefit the public because the ultimate outcome of the litigation may impact the finances of the city. I will now entertain a motion to close this portion of the meeting.
So,
Motion made by Lillis. We have support.
Support.
Support by Purpich. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. At this point, we will have to empty the council chambers and have a closed session.